Yes. Coming to the topic batteries, what is a battery? So it's a device which is going to give you the supply. Okay, it is going to give you a DC supply. Okay, so a galvanic cell is a device that generates electrical energy at the expense of decrease of the free energy of the electrode reactions taking place in the cell. Okay, a battery is a device that consists of one or more cells connected in series or parallel or both and converts the chemical energy by means of electrochemical oxidization, nothing but the reaction depending upon the desired output voltage and the capacity. So we have different chemicals for the uh, like lead acid battery. Likewise, we have many types of batteries available at variable voltages. So the working principle of a battery is the transformation of free energy change of redox reactions. Redox reactions are nothing but you can see the oxidation and the reduction reactions taking place at the electrode active materials of the cells into the electrical energy. You can see here there are two electrodes available in a vessel. Okay, so free energy electrons flow is being there. Flow of anions and the flow of cations is being there. Okay, so thereby the flow of electrons is given here. And you can see here one is a negative plate and the other one is a positive plate. Okay. So with the movement of these charges, there is a flow of the current available there. Okay. So thereby we can say it as it is acting like a cell. Okay. So which is where the electrochemical action is being taking place inside. Okay. So this transformation of free energy change into the electrical energy, we call it as the working principle of the battery. Okay. So that is done by the electrochemical reaction taking place here. Okay. Next. Coming to the battery backup. Batteries are nothing but which are going to provide you the electrical energy. Now coming to the backup. Backup is nothing but something which is given in the failure of the main supply. So when the flow of electricity is interrupted, the backup battery automatically activates, routes the power through a surge protector of some type and allows the connected devices to continue functioning. See, if you are using a fan, if the fan is switched on, suddenly the power failure or suddenly the power is off. Okay, then what happens to the fan? It is going to discontinue its function. Okay, it is going to stop. Okay, but if you have a battery backup for that particular fan, then it continues to function because when the power fails, automatically the backup is activated and that backup is giving you the supply. Battery backup is giving you the supply. Okay. So UPS devices for home are usually somewhat compact in size, but not as powerful as many of the larger commercial models of years past. Okay. So UPS you can see in your homes, we usually have the UPS. Okay, in some of our homes we have the UPS. So these UPS are are going to give you the uninterrupted power supply. The abbreviation, the full expansion of the UPS is uninterrupted power supply. So when the power failure occurs, also this UPS is going to power up your devices. But this is only for a short time, not completely. Okay, and that depends upon the UPS ratings for how much time it is going to supply the power. That is depending upon the UPS ratings. The home battery backup may be used to power essential appliances, keep the healthcare equipment up and running, or simply power up a desktop computer during the power failure or outage, you can call it as. Okay. Next, battery backup systems. Most battery backup devices have a limited amount of battery power held in reserve. There are a number of different UPS systems that provide a battery backup with surge protector. Surge protector is nothing but surge is nothing but a sudden change. Okay, so that sudden change protection is being done by the UPS systems. So in spite of providing the supply during the power outage, they also provide they also provide the protection against the surges. So standby UPS systems provide basic battery backup protection in the event of power failure as well as the surge protection. Okay. So surge is nothing but sudden change. So that can be a sudden change in the voltage or the current. That protection is being done by the UPS. Next, coming to the computer battery backup. The use of battery backup so that the computers or any other equipment can be safely shut down in the event of a total loss of electricity. Suddenly, if you are doing something on a system on the computer, you are entering some data into the Excel sheet or any document you are doing. When power failure occurs suddenly, what happens? If there is no backup, there won't be any saving of the data will be done. Okay, automatically the system is going to shut down and your data is lost. Okay, so that can be eliminated if you have a battery backup. Okay, so if you have a battery backup, it is going to give you some few minutes backup. Okay, so in that few minutes you can just save your content and you can safely shut down your system. Okay, so that is the feature of one of the feature of the battery backup. Next, uninterrupted power supply, we usually call it as a UPS, is a battery driven power supply that helps protect the electronic equipment from a sudden loss of the power. Next, what are the major loss of the UPS? We have already seen them. When there is a power failure in the main power source, the UPS will supply the power for a shorter time. It can also be able to correct some general power problems related to the utility services in varying degrees. The problems that can be corrected are voltage spikes, noise, quick reduction in the input voltage, harmonic distortion, and the instability of the frequency in the mains. So these are the major roles of the UPS. First thing is power supply for a shorter time when the main power source fails. Next thing is it is going to correct some general power problems related to the utility services. The third one is it is also going to correct some voltage spikes. If suppose in the main power supply only, if there are voltage spikes that are going to be sustained by the that are going to be corrected by the UPS. Okay, and also there will be reduction in the noise. If there is sudden increase in the voltage, also there will be quick reduction in the input voltage. Or if there is sudden quick reduction in the input voltage is available, then it is going to correct the input voltage also. Harmonic distortions, any disturbances that can be reduced using the UPS. And also instability in the frequency. Frequency must be maintained at 50 Hertz. Sometimes because of the fluctuations, we may get lesser frequency or higher frequency. Okay, so those frequency can also be corrected using the UPS. Next, coming to the different types of UPS, we usually have these types of UPS, that is online UPS, offline UPS, line interactive UPS, and also some other designs like standby online hybrid, standby ferro, delta conversion online. Okay, so only two things we are going to discuss, that is the online UPS and the offline UPS. Okay. So these are all the types of UPS available for us. Let us study the online UPS first. So in this type of UPS, the double conversion method is being used. See, so this is what we use in our houses. we have our inverter, what we call it as an inverter. Okay, that is actually a UPS only. Okay, so what are the main components of our inverter? We have a rectifier and we have a battery. Okay, so those are the two main components available there. Okay, we have a rectifier as well as an inverter. Rectifier is nothing but what is a rectification process? From AC to DC, when we convert that process, we are going to call it as a rectification process. And the reverse process is done by the inverter. So inverter is going to convert from DC to AC supply. Okay, so two operations are going to take place in a inverter. What we call it as an inverter in our home. Okay, but it is actually a online UPS what we are using there. Okay. So first, what is going to happen in this type of UPS, double conversion method is being used. Here, the first AC input is converted into DC by rectifying process for storing it into a rechargeable batteries. So the bulk size of our inverter is because, see, one thing I want to clear it is, whatever we are using in our house, that is nothing but a UPS. But generally what we call it as an inverter. Okay, so in our house UPS, we have three items, three equipment. It's an integration of three equipment. First one is the rectifier, next battery, the other one, the final one is the inverter. Okay, so these three devices are going to prevail in the household UPS. Next, the bulk size of our household UPS is only because of the batteries. Okay, the main device, that is a rectifier and inverter, is a smaller box. Okay, but the bulk size is because of the batteries. So in this type of UPS, the next point, let us discuss the next point. This DC is converted into AC by the process of inversion and given to the load or the equipment which is connected as shown in the figure. Okay. This type of UPS is used where the electrical isolation is mandatory. The system is a bit more costlier due to the design of constantly running converters and cooling systems. Here, the rectifier, which is powered with the normal AC current, is directly driving the inverter. See here, I'll show you the figure. So this is how the online UPS is going to work. I'll show you the operation. See, this is our main supply. Okay, from where our supply is coming. Okay, so first that is given to your rectifier. So what the rectifier is going to do? It is going to convert the AC supply. Our supply is a AC one. Okay, it's a AC supply. Okay, so it is going to convert the AC supply into the DC. Okay, next, after conversion, where it is going, the DC supply is going directly to the battery. Okay, so DC is going directly to the battery. Okay, now our battery is going to store the DC supply. Okay, so after store, so so for how much time our mains is connected, that much time it is going to store our energy in the form of DC supply. Okay. So later on, suppose because of some power issues, there is a failure of this. Okay. So there might be some failure of power. Then what happens? There won't be any supply from this side. Okay. And there is a bypass, you can see, a static bypass, which is directly given to the supply. Suppose there is a repair or something in the inverter, then this will be disconnected here at this particular point, and there will be a supply like this. Static bypass will be there. Okay. Now see, when there is a power failure, okay, so then at that time our load is working always. Okay, load is being working always. So at the time of failure of the power, what is going to happen? Our battery is going to supply the power. Okay. Now battery is having a DC supply. Okay. It is storing everything in terms of DC. Now our load is utilizing the AC. Okay. So how to get the AC? We have to use an inverter again. Okay. So from DC, it has to be converted to AC. Okay. So that conversion is being done by the inverter. Okay. And the AC to DC, which was done previously, that is done by our rectifier. Okay. So inverter is converting the DC supply to the AC supply and it is giving to our load. So that is going to happen in case of our household UPS, or we can call it as the online UPS. Okay. Now, when there is a repair in our inverter, okay, if there is a repair in our inverter or the battery, then what is going to happen? We need to disconnect this particular part. We need to disconnect this entire part. Okay. So when we disconnect this entire part, what is going to happen? How will be the power supply taking place? So directly from the mains, it is going to bypass through the static bypass and it is going to give into the load. Okay. So this is going to happen in the online UPS. Okay. So that is going to happen in the online UPS. So there are three things available in our online UPS. What are those? Rectifier first. Next one is the battery. After rectification, storage. Okay. After storage, conversion. Okay. So this is going to happen in our online UPS. Okay. Let me clear. There's this sanitation. Okay. So that is regarding the online UPS. This is nothing but the explanation of the online UPS, this entire thing. So you can study this. Whichever I have explained there, that is the thing given here. Next, coming to the offline UPS. This offline UPS is a standby UPS system which can give only the most basic features. When the power breakage occurs, the transfer switch will select the backup source and it is going to give you the backup there. Thus, we can clearly see that the standby system will start working only when there is a failure in the main system. In this system, the AC voltage is first rectified, stored in the storage battery connected to the rectifier. So you can see here. So this is our offline UPS system. So in this offline UPS system, we have our main supply here. Okay. So it's AC supply here. Okay. So that is being AC supply is being passed through a surge suppressor. Surge suppressor, I told you, surge in the sense sudden change. That can be a change in the voltage or the current. Okay. So that surge is being going to suppressed by this suppressor. Okay. Correction is being done here. Okay. The correction is being, I can't write here. Okay. So the correction is being done here. Next, we have a filter for filtering any disturbances, and that is given to the transfer switch here. Okay, and we also have one more line where the rectifier is there. Okay, for the rectifying process, that is AC to DC conversion. Next, we have a battery for the storage purpose. Okay, next we have a inverter. Okay, for the conversion from the DC to AC, it will be done. Okay. So this transfer switch is going to come into operation only when there is a power failure. Suppose if there is a power failure, there is no power supply from here. Okay. There is no supply here. Okay. So then what happens? This switch is to be switched in this way. Okay. So then this battery is going to give the supply here. Okay. supply will be given via the switch. Okay. So that is going to happen in case of offline power system, offline UPS. We can call it as a standby system. Let me go into the next slide. Okay, so this is the end of your sessions, 3 sessions. So if you have